Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two Drink Minimum Shots, the only podcast on the planet that has successfully employed and promoted a retard.
What?
The gentleman in front of me doesn't need an introduction, but you know he's going to get one anyway because it's goddamn Mike Ward.
I am Mike Ward. You are Pantelis.
Yes.
And the guy that went full retard next to us. Poseidon.
Hey, welcome.
I am Poseidon.
Yeah.
I'm like a Pokemon. I've noticed.
What?
How?
Like Snorlax?
You know, like Pikachu goes Pikachu. Yeah. I'm always like, I'm Poseidon.
You're like cockatoo. That's what you are. You're Cox. That's who you are. So me and Mike have some funny stories. I guess we'll see which ones we say on the shots, which ones we go on the full episode. Because Mike went all the way up north.
I went to Iqaluit in Nunavut. And you know what's fucked up? I thought, okay, we're going up there. It's going to be all like 80% Inuit, 20% white. I've never seen so many black people in a small town. It's a small town, 7,000 people. I'd see about 70 or 80 black people a day.
Oh, that's how come?
I've no fucking idea. It's super multi-ethnic. I saw Indian, like actual Indian people. I saw natives. It was crazy. And whenever, like, on stage, if you did anything that was half racial, fucking people got nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have done great.
Yeah. There was a guy on my, because I was doing an English show and a French show, and I thought it'd be the same crowd, so I did 2 different hours. And on my way to the French show, there was this big fucking, like, the taxis there are fucked up. It's $7 to go wherever you want, but other people can get in. So
You have no choice about it?
No, it's like a Uber share. So you get into the taxi and you're like, how much does it cost to go to? He's $7. So you're like, okay. And then some big native dude hops in with you. And we were going to the show. Taxi was full. This big native dude comes in. He's got a bottle of wine and he's like, fucking hall pass, man, hall pass. And we're like, what? He's like, my fucking wife started yelling at me, started scratching my face. I said, fuck you, bitch. I'm going to the hotel. I got a hall pass. He's like, tonight I'm going out. I'm fucking. And then he's fucking so happy. He looks at me and we're in the dark. He's like, are you that controversial comedian? I'm like, yeah, I am. He's like, all right, that's fucking awesome. Then he's talking about his hall pass, how he's going to get fucked up. And then we drop him off. He was like, you doing a show? And I was like, I'm doing a French show because I didn't want him to come.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm doing a French show so you won't understand.
He's like, I speak French.
And then he dropped off, and then he got dropped off before. And then he tells the taxi driver, he's like, can I pay you next week? And then he's like, no. And he's like, oh, I'm good for it. I'll pay you next week. And he's like, give me the bottle of wine. He's like, okay. He pulls out a wad of cash. Like, he must have had like $700.
And he didn't want to give the $7?
And he didn't want to give this. So he gave him the money. And then he gets out. I'm doing my show. And then I hear like someone talking at the entrance. And I look and there's a huge native guy. And
it was
Inuit.
him?
I didn't know it was him at first. And the people there, when you're eating, it almost feels like Mexico. You're eating. The Inuits always try to sell you fucking like little sculptures or hey, and they're super polite, but they come and they show you a fucking drawing they made, and you're like, no, I'm good.
You want a dream catcher?
So this guy was coming in, and he was trying to sell something to the people in the audience during a comedy show.
Get the fuck out of here. This is the same guy?
Yeah, and I'm like, I didn't know at first. And I'm like, is this motherfucker, is he trying to sell something during a comedy show? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, look, okay, I'll kick him out. They kick him out. He comes back. And like the third time I was like, just let him sell whatever he's selling. So I asked the guy, I'm like, what are you selling? And he's like, I got meat. He just had a piece of meat that he was trying to sell during a comedy show.
What kind of cartoon life is this?
Jesus Christ.
That you're trying to sell meat. He's very funny, though.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a character right there.
And it was fucked up because the English show, both shows we sold out. But the English show, French show was like only $15 a ticket or 20, and the English show was 50, but it was to raise money for homeless people there. And I was like, who the fuck is homeless?
Yeah, you're dead.
In the coldest place on earth. But then they showed me where they live the next day. Like when people park their boats, the homeless people like kind of just start living in the boats. But the boats are just like fucking...
Like canoes?
Like canoes, but with a blanket on top of it. And you're like, it's minus 60. How the fuck do you survive?
God.
I would, you know,
Yeah.
before when you said, "Oh, you were surprised how many black people there were, or how many white," I was just surprised there was that many people that live up there in
Yeah.
that cold. But now that you're telling me there's homeless, that's the most surprising thing ever.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
either look, if you're really homeless, you have nothing, like home, no bank account, no nothing, go south.
You know what's surprising though is how can you two things? How can you survive without a home, but how can you be homeless when an igloo is free?
Yeah,
You could just go.
but these
this
guys,
is my
they're
home.
like the Poseidons of homeless people. They just can't even an igloo. Like,
I
oh,
don't get
man,
this snow thing.
Yeah, ice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live in ice. What are you crazy? I'm cold.
What am I, a peasant?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sleep in a boat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sleep in Steve's boat.
It's made out of wood.
I can't believe that fucking. That's so strange.
Yeah.
I love the guy selling meat though. To me, that's
The
hilarious.
guy, yeah, and plus I'm vegan, so I was like, you're trying to sell meat to a vegan guy.
I guarantee you, if Poseidon was there, what kind of meat, bro? What kind of meat is that? Over here. Well, it's great service. We got meat in here.
And plus the guy didn't have meat when he was in the taxi, so he probably went somewhere, and there was maybe he ordered like nachos, and there was maybe like
So he was just selling a single piece of meat.
he had a piece like it looked like he had one piece of jerky in his like I got meat with his fucking grubby fingers.
This is insanity.
Yeah.
That is a little crazy.
What do people do down there? There's like a town square. What? There's a general store. Like,
There's the place where we were staying at. It's called the Frobisher Inn. You feel like you're in Cuba or fucking Mexico, except it's super cold. But I never left the hotel. There were one bar, three restaurants. There's a movie theater. There was a theater to do shows in. Well, not a theater, but like a big room that they set
hall.
up. A hall, yeah.
Do they have an internet?
They have internet. Of
course they have internet.
Yeah, and you know what surprised me too? There are 7 or 8 comics that live in Iqaluit.
really?
Yeah, and they only do shows like once a month or whatever.
Are they good?
I didn't see any of them. I was like, fuck.
Probably died of starvation or something.
I was like, we should have gotten one of them to like open for
yeah.
me, because they had asked me, they were like, do you want to do a master class in comedy over there? And I was like, I'm not gonna fucking talk about comedy to people who are like, do you want to buy meat? You know?
Because they already get comedy if they're selling meat at the
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's But yeah, there are a bunch of comics, and the guy running the Frobisher Inn, he's a guy named Steve. He does comedy. He showed me his fucking whole body is covered with tattoos of comics.
Are they all meat related?
No, but he had
This is a pork chop.
He had Sam Kinison. He had
wow.
Richard Pryor. He had a bunch of them, and he told me, I was like, "Did you get those here?" And he was like, "Some of them I got here, and some of them I got in Toronto." And I could exactly tell which were which, because there was one I was like,
That's a stick figure.
"No," but there was one I was like, "Why does he have a cartoon of like Porky Pig yelling?" And he was like, "No, that's Sam Kinison."
Oh no,
It was
that's
just
hilarious.
a big fat face with a round mouth.
Is that an Amy Schumer tattoo? Oh fuck!
But it was fun. It was cold as shit. I didn't have I lost my winter jacket the day before we went there, because I was doing I had a podcast. There's a band called the St. Catharines that they were a pretty big punk band back in the day. The singer has a podcast.
Oh, nice.
So I did his podcast the night before, and I was leaving at 5 a.m. So the night before I'm doing a podcast, I was like, I'm not going to drink too much. But then I was with a punk guy, and whenever I'm with rock and roll guys, I want to show them I'm fucking rock and roll too. So I just got fucked up, and I left the place without my jacket. And then next morning...
I'm hardcore. Mike, it's
Yeah.
cold outside. I said I'm hardcore.
But next morning, 5 a.m, they came to get me. So I woke up at 4, and I was like,
no.
oh, fuck, I don't have a jacket. I don't own a toque. And I couldn't find my gloves. And I don't have, like, it was fucked
Show up
up.
at the airport. Mike, why do you have a kimono on? Look, decisions were made.
Stop judging me. But yeah, so it was really cool. And I visited the first ever Hudson's Bay. The
bay, the store?
The first bay, yeah, the store. It's closed now.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Closed, huh?
How was
It's
it?
This economy.
Yeah, it's an old shack written Hudson's, and there's a B and the rest froze off. Yeah.
Hudson's B, dog.
Yeah,
Interesting.
the
What's up?
Hudson's B.
They got like old timey clothes and shit.
No,
it's
there's
closed
not.
down.
It's closed.
Oh, it's closed. Oh,
It's totally closed.
That's what happens when a store is open long enough. They only sell the stuff that they first started selling.
Yeah.
It's like a time machine.
But I think they should have kept like they should have it open
As a
kind of
museum.
like as a museum.
Yeah, historical, of course,
Because
yeah.
they have another museum there. They should just move all that shit into the Hudson's Bay.
Can we agree that some museums suck?
Well, yeah, most of them.
Right? Yeah. Because I've been to quite a few museums in my time, and I think 95% of them, I was like, why am I? This is a waste of fucking time.
Yeah.
And look, this is sludge that we feel is probably primordial historical sludge from the time of What is this? What are you showing me? It's nothing. This is a sculpture. A 9-year-old could make that. What is that fucking stick figure? I'm not impressed.
You know what I hate about museums when you go to another country and you have to listen to the
I
ear
never
thing?
put them on.
But you're walking around, you're following the group, and they spend as much time with the really cool shit as the fucking
Yeah.
garbage. So the really cool shit that you're like, oh fuck, how did they make
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
They're like, come, I gotta show you a hat.
Yeah, that's what they do. And then they're like, look at the rib on this hat here, and the way they bent it means that this man
Yeah.
was one of those genuine cowboys.
Yeah.
You're like, what am I looking at? That's a hat. That is a hat, sir.
And you're like, can I see that helicopter that Da Vinci made?
Yeah, exactly.
That seems way better.
Is that a fucking sword with 3 blades? Oh, forget that.
you know which museums are dope?
Is that a horn from a demon?
Two nicest museums I've been to was the one in Athens
Yeah, that's a fucking.
and
yeah.
the one in Heraklion, Greece.
Yeah, but again, the 2 museums I've been to is the place where they have stuff from 5,000 years ago. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
what we're talking about. We're talking about like when they come here and they bring shit from around the world, but they never bring cool shit. They're like, come watch the mysteries of Egypt. And then you go and you think, oh, fuck, I'm going to see a mummy or something. And like, look at this piece of paper. They drew a cat on it.
Did you see the museums here with when I was a kid? They brought us to a museum.
Alexander the Great.
No. It was about the natives
I've seen one about the natives.
and the colonials when they came and all that shit.
yeah. But some shit is like dumb.
Yeah.
Like they showed a whole thing on the floor and they're like, all that is arrowheads, right? And you can't see. It looks from far. It looks like rocks. I'm like, what am I looking at?
Yeah.
What are you're showing me a tub of rocks.
There was one I visited. It was sold as a museum, but it wasn't. It was in a little town in Scotland where you had to crawl in, and it was like really small to get in. And then they showed you like little skulls, and they were like, "Look at how small the skulls are." And then we were looking, and they were like,
Are these dead kids?
"Yeah, no," but they were like, "This is where they used to put retarded people."
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, "What the fuck?" That's why they made the door so small.
Oh no. Poseidon, you know what you need to do? You need to go there, fall on your knees, and be like,
Yeah.
never forget what they did to my people.
Oh my God.
It's fucking. I've been to. I think it was in Ottawa when we were in elementary, grade 5. That natural history, I think, where they show like the rocks and all that stuff. But you go to certain rooms and have like these crystals they show you that are nice. But then they show you tons of stones that are just that you can even buy in the gift shop. They're supposed to be impressive, but they're just rocks. They're just
Yeah.
stone. It's like, why would the only people that are excited to see a bunch of rocks are like Muslims in a country when they've caught someone that they need to stone? You know what I'm saying? That's the only people that get excited. They're like, there's a gay guy. We need these rocks. That's the only people that get excited for rocks. Why would I be excited about rocks? Unless I'm in Saudi Arabia and you're giving me a freebie.
All the Saudis are like, okay, there's probably gays.
Yeah.
Break the glass, find the gays.
Yeah, that's what it's so. I saw another video of a stoning that just
Oh,
happened.
did
again.
you?
Yeah, bro. They don't fucking stop stoning. Can we agree that this is crazy? This
Yeah.
is insane.
Did you see the article about there was a school in the UK that would teach children about homosexuality,
Okay.
and then the Muslims opposed this.
Oh, I only saw a headline. I didn't read it, so I can't talk about it. I don't know.
I saw the headline too, but it's funny because it's like
But because
In what country?
Yeah, in the UK.
I think it
it
was
says.
in the
Okay.
UK.
But the only thing I don't understand is, because that's why I have to read the article. Because the way you're making it sound, were they telling kids, "Hey, dudes, sometimes you gotta suck a dick,"
Yeah.
or were they just
You
saying,
gotta go gay for pay.
You gotta
babe.
go gay for pay, and then I can understand people being like, "Don't tell my son to suck a dick,"
No,
or
yeah.
were they saying, "This is normal. You're gonna meet gay people. Some people are gay, some people are straight."
You know, it'd be awesome if the
was-
teacher of that course was like, "How bad do you want that A?"
Yeah, that's it.
No,
Like-
it was more like
Because those are two different scenarios. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
one, you could be mad at if somebody's trying to solicit your son for blowjobs,
Yeah.
and the other one, if they're just saying like some people are gay, get used to it. You're like, yeah, okay,
it was
whatever.
more like that. But I also saw a video where one of the teachers was making kids write love letters to each other.
That's a bit weird.
So
don't-
like a boy would write
What?
would have to write a love letter to the other boy. And
okay, that's
girls,
fucked
vice
up.
versa.
I don't even agree with forcing a
Yeah.
boy to do it to a girl. A girl, like, don't
Yeah.
leave kids. Let kids be
What the
kids.
Yeah, let kids grow.
Steve,
They're growing.
that's a pedophile. That is a teacher. It's
Yeah.
like Steve, tell Johnny how much you want to suck his cock. Like, what?
Tell him how if it wasn't for all those goddamn laws, you'd be in that ass right now. Tell him if you thought he was better at keeping secrets, you'd bring him to my father's house.
All the love letters are proxies from the teacher to the students.
He's just checking to see who the perverts are.
Yeah, he's just talking through the kids. But I don't like Johnny, sir. I like Melanie. But tell Johnny you want him. Tell Johnny you want to take him over to your apartment. I don't have an apartment, sir. No, but I do. Just tell him. Tell him what I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can use my place. That room behind the two-sided mirror.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what the way you're describing it, because
Yeah.
I thought they were just saying like, hey, just so you know, some people are gay, and it's like, yeah,
No,
well, they
it was
should.
a bit more extreme than that.
Okay, that's fucked up. Yeah. Then I'm with the Muslim.
It wasn't
parents.
directly. It wasn't directly like suck his dick. It was more like
No, but
like-
still, forcing a kid to write a love letter already is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if they like the kid, imagine.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's just weird. That's fucking creepy.
And it was like a creepy lady with short hair, like one of those fucking
lesbian?
weird bitches.
SJW, you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's strange. Yeah, leave we have to let kids be kids.
Yeah. Let them grow, like let their imagination run, like
Why can't we just bully them like we used to? Like,
Bullying
hey,
would
stupid, your
fix-
shoes are dumb. You know.
For real though, bullying would fix a lot
lot.
of things right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, you know what I
But
always
good bullying,
do now?
not sexual, good bullying. Like,
Yeah, no,
like
not-
what
not-
molesting them.
Look at them! Look at those lips.
Yeah, no, not that. I mean, like that's an ugly shirt.
Yeah. You know what I do now? I always tell
Bully
people.
strangers?
No, but like yesterday, I met one of my friends I hadn't seen in a while, and I was like, "Fuck, man, too bad we can't bully people anymore, or else I'd be making fun of that shirt." I was like, "That, god damn."
That's a good bully.
And then, or I tell people, I was like, "Fuck, too bad we can't use the word fag anymore because it felt like to have an insult."
I love that. Wait, are you still calling me a fag? No,
No,
not in this day and age.
Fucking
I wouldn't do that.
2019, bro. Don't
2019.
use that word.
Don't use
Don't
that
use
word.
the F word.
Don't use the F word. Yeah.
oh man.
That Poseidon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I almost looked like I might have looked like a fucking sexual weirdo because there's you know that on Twitter I tweeted out that there's a story in Germany about this little town that some people owed money to the town, so the city went to these people's house to seize something, and the only thing of value was a dog, so they took their dog
I saw that,
away
yeah.
from 3 children and the parents.
That's insane.
That's fucking crazy. They sold it on eBay, and then this woman bought the dog, and the dog needed an operation, so then she paid for an operation, and now she's suing the city because she's like, the dog you sold me was broken.
Oh,
like
my
one of
God.
those fucking people. So then I tweeted out to this lady that bought the dog. I was like, how much did you pay for the dog, and how much did I'll pay for everything, just bring the dog back. But when I wrote I used Google Translate.
Oh, and you told her to go fuck herself?
No, it was super nice, but I described myself, and I was like, hey, my name's Mike Ward. I'm an animal lover. And then I sent it, and I was like, animal lover.
Might be something else in
Yeah,
a different
because
language.
it could be like guy that, hey, I love animals, or it could be, I fuck animals.
Yeah.
So how much did you pay for that dog?
I'm going to sex it up.
I'm going to fuck that dog, and then I'll bring it back.
And she's like, nine.
Yeah, but that's why I
That's
want
a lot
to
of money, ma'am.
I want to talk about it here, and I wasn't sure if I want to talk about it here or the compound version of the show. But if there are any people in Germany, the lady's name is Michaela Jordan, which is a fucked up
Michael
name.
Jordan?
Michael Jordan, but with a name, Michaela Jordan.
You mean Michaela?
Oh yeah, Michaela.
Michaela Jordan.
Michaela Jordan. Michaela Jordan. She's a police officer in the town of.
And apparently she's the Michael Jordan of police officers.
yeah, she's a. But
It would be funny if she's the Scottie Pippen of police.
Dunking on these criminals.
She's just good at assists.
But I have Mike Patterson's girlfriend or wife speaks German, so she called her, and she's in the town of Woolrath.
Okay, so what's the situation now? She called her. Did they speak?
Yeah, she hasn't got a hold of her yet. So if any Germans know where Woolrath is, she's a police officer there. If you can go to the police station and just ask to talk to her and just tell her to look at her private messages on Facebook that I sent her a weirdly translated.
Yeah.
Tell her there's some dude that wants to fuck your little dog. That's not gonna fuck your little dog. He's actually gonna give you money.
But yeah, if any Germans could find her, because look, she's in a small town. We know from history you guys are good at going into small towns and finding people of interest. So please get there, find her. Probably she might be in an attic with her dog, and just get her the information.
I actually told Mike because he was like, this is a very non-German, this is a North American thing to do,
Yeah.
to read something and feel bad for a dog. Like fucking Europeans don't care about animals. But I told him, he told me, he was like, I was telling the farmers in the village because he's in
Oh,
Germany.
he's in Germany right now.
And he was like, they were all laughing. They were all laughing because they find it stupid. But I was like,
The Germans, of course, the Germans find like, this is so stupid. Can I tell you what we did to children just fucking 70 years ago?
but I told him, I was like, can you get, like, I'll give money to those Germans to go break into that woman's house and steal the dog from
That
her.
they would do.
Yeah, he said for sure they'll do that. But
No shit.
But unfortunately, they'll probably kill it. So they'll be like, we have the dog.
God
What?
damn.
The dog's name is Steinberg. Come over here. Oh, that's
God
funny.
damn. This whole time I've been picturing a police lady just with her baton
Yeah.
and jumping in the air and smacking people, dunking on these hoes.
What? Are you autistic?
Because of the Michael Jordan thing.
Okay, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been picturing
Yeah,
like
dunking on these hoes.
they're doing
Yeah.
layups with handcuffs and shit.
Okay.
And what's fucked up, the person that got the dog taken from was name was Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucking something going on in
And the guy who
Germany.
sold it on eBay, Denise Rodman. It was Denise Rodman. It was so stupid. But he's looking at me. He's like, I don't know who that is. You don't know who Dennis Rodman is?
Is that guy that got his dick broke with his girlfriend, and then he went to the hospital and they took pictures?
Guaranteed
yeah.
that's him.
That's him. But most people like
Most people know him from
either basketball or Kim Jong Un.
Bro, the guy with the broken cock, bro.
The guy with the broken
That
cock.
was a pretty dick, bro.
Because no, I saw this Vice video once where they made like a cartoon version of him telling the story, and I found it hilarious, and that's what I remember of
That
Dennis
means
Rodman.
when you saw Dennis Rodman when he first went to North Korea, you saw him with Kim Jong Un. You was like, "Why's that guy with the broken dick with that fat Chinese lesbian?
Yeah,
What's he doing with that fat Chinese lesbian?"
This guy playing for Team China now? What is this? USA all the way. What are you doing? So stupid.
His dick broke. He's a lesbian now.
Oh fuck! I would love like to be inside your head for one day just to understand things the way you understand them.
Honestly, I don't even know how I understand things. So
Just that sentence makes my ears want to bleed. Anyways, so Mike, that's the shot for this
That's
week.
a shot. Yeah, if people have info about
German dogs?
Michaela Jordan, is that how you say it? You think
or
Michaela?
maybe with a like a
Yeah.
Michaela.
Yeah, because Michaela doesn't sound German at
It's
all.
only Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
So
it's
if you
probably
have any
Michaela.
yeah,
Michaela.
Jordan.
Just have her reach out to me on Facebook, or you reach out to me on Twitter.
Yeah,
And it's both of those are at Mike Ward CA.
I already got those showing on the bottom, Mike. That's
Okay,
how we do
perfect.
things. Technology.
But for the people on like SoundCloud and iTunes.
At Mike Ward CA is Mike's Twitter handle. If you go to mikeward.ca, you can even see all his handles over there. You can also watch his special,
Yep.
Mike Ward Infamous, which is available on Amazon Prime and on the YouTubes. You can find Poseidon on YouPorn/trans. That's just what he's normally looking at.
He's
but
dunking on them
He's
hoes.
dunking on the hoes, but you can look at the same videos he looks at just so you could get connected with Poseidon. And go to panteliscomedy.com to check out all of my stuff. Thank you.